What's up, everybody? Today is December 6th, 2023, and I'm going to talk about one of the aspects of my job that I had to do the other day. I was working on the back dock, and I think I mentioned it in one of my videos. I was preparing to go out there, and I was kind of dreading it a little bit. But I never explained what I did that day. So, yeah, so there's a little bit of explanation needed before I tell you what I did. So, I work at a potato processing plant, okay, and not all of our potatoes end up going to customers. So, the quality potatoes go to customers, things that aren't damaged or affected for whatever reasons. So for example, let me give you an example of a potato that would not uh, go to a customer, like French fry, for example. So our plant produces French fries, and so they go through all kinds of machines. Keep in mind this all starts with just a regular normal potato from a farm, right? And then obviously from a potato you got to take the skin off, and the potatoes are washed and rinsed and all that kind of stuff, and eventually they're cut up, and they're partially cooked and all these kind of things, the whole process, right? Okay, so the French fries, for example, go through this whole process. um but as you've seen, sometimes potatoes naturally they're a little bit green, for example, right? Well, customers don't like that. And so if, like, say a whole French fry just happens to be green, say that was the slice of potato that was cut out, either the machine or one of the humans that are watching, that was another job that I did. I mean, you see like thousands and thousands of fries coming down the line. And if you see one that's like abnormal like that, you take it out of the line because customers aren't going to like that. Okay, so that's an example of a potato product that wouldn't go to a customer. Okay, so there's basically three designations for our potato products, right? Ones that goes to a customer, ones that are totally trash, and then ones that are for cows, which we call cow chow. Okay, so the ones that go to the customers, like I said, are the good quality, uh, you know, the freshest, the best looking, et cetera, et cetera, right? The ones that go just straight in the garbage, in the trash, not for anyone's consumption, not human, not animal, are like, say, potatoes happen to fall on the ground, and so we have to sweep them up. That's just going in the garbage, period, right? Okay, but now there's like an in between. So there's some potatoes, like the green potato, for example, right? It's perfectly edible, nothing wrong with it. They explained why the potatoes turn green. It's not that they're rotten or anything. I forget, I don't know, oxidation. I forget what the explanation was. But it's perfectly edible, but humans don't like it, right? So say those, for example, that we toss them into like a bin or a bucket or whatever. Those will go to farms for cows to eat. Whether my company sells it to the farms or they give it to the farms as like a tax write-off or whatever, I don't know. They don't tell me that part. But it goes to the farms for cows, cow chow, right? So that would be the type of potato that would go to the cows, is, like I said, something that's still edible, but just something that a human customer wouldn't want, or something like that. And then, like I said, the ones that will go in the trash are just something that totally falls on the ground. And because we work in a factory, something falls on the ground, you sweep it up, and it's dirty, so it's not even good enough for cow consumption, basically. So it's like, okay, that's just trash, throw that in the trash, right? So anyhow, so there's basically those three designations of potatoes at my factory, and like 99%, or, well, I mean, I don't know what the percentage, but like the high percentage of our potatoes, do go to humans. It's I would say it's the lower percent that actually goes to the other, to either to waste or to cow chow. Although a lot goes to cow chow as well. There are a lot of, for whatever reason, they're just not designated to be sold. Anyhow, so now I'm getting to the back dock story. Anyhow, so the big containers that go for cows, eventually it adds up, and they're giant containers of, like I said, it could be French fries, cut up potatoes, or whatever, little potato parts that just for whatever reason aren't edible, whatever reason, maybe a little bit too brown or something like that, right? So anyhow, so we have big containers of those, right? And so eventually they take those big containers of the cow chow to the back dock, right? And forklift drivers will take the big containers and they'll dump them into like a large semi truck, and then the semi truck will, obviously drive to the farm and go to the cows. Okay, and so my part on the back dock, or whoever's working back there, is to, because they come in like these huge cardboard boxes like this inside of a bin, and so and it's inside like a big trash bag type of wrapper. So anyhow, they come in like a closed box, and so my job is, when they come to the back dock, is to open it up and get ready for the forklift driver to dump in, to make sure the box is open, so the forklift driver doesn't, when the box comes outside, the forklift driver doesn't have to get off the forklift, go undo the box himself, get back on the forklift and dump the box. They just keep moving on the forklift, and the person on the ground basically opens up the box and gets it prepared for the forklift operator to dump into the bigger truck. That was my job. Okay. And so there was a specific area of our plant that I was working in, and so basically I had two jobs that day. One, doing that, and two, while I was waiting for that, I was just inside the building, in that area of the plant, just sweeping, pretty much, just trying to just clean up that area of the building, because the forklift drivers, they pretty much dominate that part of the building, so they're doing everything else. And so they're like, okay, well, just clean up in the meantime until we need you outside, and you come outside. And they obviously don't want me just to sit outside because, well, for one, I mean, I could do stuff inside. But if there's no boxes ready, there's no reason to be out there. Plus, it was really cold. That gets into the second part. And part of the reason I was dreading it, it was like a high of I think only like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it was freezing. So 0 degrees Celsius, like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Very cold that day. And so that was one of the reasons I was dreading it. And yeah, and sure enough, it was really cold. I had all my layers on. And I had two pairs of gloves, because I have my normal, they're like a cut resistant gloves, and so you don't get your fingers cut on any random sharp object. And then I also had these other gloves that were super thermal gloves, it's like a sleeping bag that's rated in negative 10 degrees Fahrenheit or something for extreme cold. So yeah, I had those on too. And so yeah, I was all bundled up, and as much as I could, my beanie on, my hard hat on, and then I have my ear protection on, which I actually liked. Forget the ear protection; wasn't even loud outside really. It was just the fact of keeping my ears warm, having my little earmuff things on. And so I only did it for about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes at a time. I was out there, we did it, and they're like, okay, go to break, and then come back, and then basically do it again for another 30, 45 minutes. So I did that a couple of times, and then the other times, like I said, I was pretty much just inside cleaning and doing whatever. But during the times when I was outside on the back dock, like I said, it was extremely cold, and it wasn't just snowing; it had melted a little bit, and so it was muddy on the ground, and so my pants were just all muddy. And because all that stuff is in a box. That's the other part that I forgot that I have to do. So I have to prepare the box, open them up so they could dump it out, and then after they dump it out, there's these huge cardboard boxes. I mean huge. I mean they got to be 50-pound cardboard boxes. They're very heavy, and so I got to break those down and stack them up so that they could use those later on. And so I was trying to do that, move all those around, and just mud is slushing around everywhere, getting on my clothes and getting on my face and stuff like that. And so it was bad. And then just trying to fight the cold, and then boogers coming out of my nose because it's so cold, and it was just bad. Now the funny part, I do have a funny part of this whole thing, right? So again, we work in a potato processing plant, and just anywhere with any product. I mean, even at your house or whatever. Like, say you're cooking, you're chopping up food, whatever you're doing. Like, say you wanted to make French fries at home, for example. So you get a big bag of potatoes, and like I said, you skin them and chop them up and do all that kind of stuff. Naturally, some potatoes are gonna fall on the ground or get on the counter or whatever. Basically a mess is gonna be made, right? And so it's no exception in a big factory that does, thousands and thousands of pounds of potatoes, like, every hour or whatever, right? And so the funny thing is, while we're out there, and he's the forklift driver, he's trying to dump the bins of the potatoes into the thing, and I'm trying to do my thing or whatever. So naturally, my point is that some potatoes fall on the ground, right? Well, we're outside, and there were some birds out there, and they were like, because we have like there's power lines and stuff in the back, and the whole time they're just like looking back and forth. The birds, little, like, I don't know, crows or whatever they were. Surprised they're outside when it's 30 degrees outside, but they're just back there looking and watching us, and basically waiting for us to like I'd be in one little spot and doing a box, and I'd go move somewhere else, and then the birds would swoop down and pick up some of the potatoes that fell on the ground, and then then I'd have to come back and they'd fly back up, and so it's kind of this whole funny thing that I'm basically, in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking I'm out here dying and freezing cold, like I said, boogers coming out of my nose and all this kind of stuff. But it was just funny that these birds, they just took it as an opportunity. They're like, hey, there's food falling on the ground, French fries and like potatoes and stuff like that. And so it's funny. They definitely took advantage of that, and so that it was just, it kind of like brightened my day a little, because it was so depressing. I mean, it's not just snowy. It's because it's dark, it's gloomy, it's depressing, it's cold, etc., etc. And then when I seen the birds, and it kind of just like brightened me up a little bit, seeing Mother Nature, it kind of brightened up my day a little bit. And I thought it was just kind of funny that they're just watching us, like I said, just watching the forklift operator go back. And there's like easily, like, I don't know, 50, 100 of those birds just sitting on the power lines, just looking down on us, just watching us, just waiting, like I said, just for some potatoes to drop or something like that, and just swoop down and pick them up. So anyhow, so yeah, I did that, and it was pretty terrible. I definitely did not like that. Yeah. If I did it again, I would ask maybe if I could wear a wetsuit or something, because I really didn't like the mud getting everywhere, and it's so hard to get out of your clothes, and it was just gross and nasty, and like I said, it was cold, and if I had to do that again, I would need to wear like more layers, and I don't know, something. Just, I mean, it's almost like no matter how many layers you wear, it's just so cold, and whatever just goes right through your clothes, and so yeah, it wasn't, definitely was not a pleasurable day. I really hated that a lot. So I hope to not do that anymore, but I have a feeling that eventually it's going to come in the rotation. I'm going to have to do that again. But that kind of gets into the greater point of what I was talking about yesterday to you guys. And this is definitely not a job that I'd want to do long term. This is one of those jobs that it's like, it's a job, I go there, I do what I'm supposed to do, and I get money, and that's pretty much it. Matter of fact, I don't know if I told you guys this, but at this job, when you start, you're on probation for 90 days, and so I haven't even. Oh, what? I'm still making a video. What do you want?
Yeah, it's gonna take so freaking long.
Then I'll just do mine later or something. Then get it.
You have to wait so fucking long, Matthew.
YouTube's not gonna be happy with you. She's doing her laundry, and me and Nano are here. Nano's eating some French fries. He's got his muscle shirt on, and I'm like, we'll sit in the car. I'll make a video, and then I'll go in and do my laundry. But I guess she's gonna do my laundry. She just grabbed it, somewhat angrily, as you hear. So anyhow, so I'm still on probation at my job, up for 90 days. I don't know how many days it's been. It's probably been at least a month already. I don't know. So I made it, and anyhow, I don't even know if they're going to hire me, because it's a union job. And so they assess you for 90 days, and if they like you, they keep you on, and then I go into union. So, I mean, I hope they keep me. I mean, I go every day, I show up, I do what I'm supposed to do, regardless if I like it or not. out there on the back dock and freezing my balls off, and like I said, snot coming out of my nose and all this kind of stuff. And so they better keep me after 90 days. But anyhow, but regardless, I don't know. It's just not something that I want to do. It's not like it's like a job I want to retire from or whatever. I mean, there's other positions, and I'm trying to get into another position there, something that's not so I don't know, labor demanding. I guess I don't like that. I don't like working out in the freezing cold, and yeah, I mean, just certain things. But in general, like I told you guys, this city is very depressing. It basically goes from really cold in the winter to really hot. I don't think there's a lot of in between, like not really any spring, or there was no fall. It went from summer and hot to just cold. I mean, the trees started, the leaves started falling off or whatever for maybe like, I don't know, a week maybe, but like temperature wise, it just went from hot to cold. That's it. And then it's just gonna go back when it's done. So yeah, this place is you should see Nano. Nano, what are you doing, man? You put your shirt on and off and on and off? We're gonna go in a minute, man. So anyways, again, I'm thankful and appreciative to have. See, I'm gonna tell you something. So I don't want to seem unappreciative about my job. I am, and we're still trying to get out of this homelessness and get a place and all this kind of stuff. And obviously I want to keep my car going. And so I'm appreciative. I'm happy that I have a job and I'm making money. So don't mistake that, right? But at the same time, I also don't want to lie to you guys either. I don't want to be unappreciative, but I also don't want to be a liar either. And so if I sat here and said, "Oh yeah, this is the best job in the world. I love it, and I want to keep this job forever and all this kind of stuff," I would be lying to you, and I don't want to do that either. So I like being honest. Whether it's like with a product and I'm reviewing like a food product, or I'm talking about my life or my job or whatever. I want to be honest. And so the honest thing is, it's a job. I'm appreciative to have a job, and I'm thankful to be making money. But also the truth is that it is not something that I love, definitely. And the city that it's in, my job, is not something that I love, definitely. And so I don't want to stay in this city for very long, and I don't want to stay in that job for very long. Now, what is the plan and where to go and where to work and where to live and all that kind of stuff? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I don't know what the long-term plan is. I just know that this is... I don't want this to be my long-term thing. It's depressing. And as I told you guys yesterday, my job is supposed to end up going to 12-hour shifts, and that's even more depressing to me. I don't like that, especially as I'm getting older, So I'm gonna keep trudging away with this YouTube thing. I really need to get on myself and not be lazy and be like, Matt, you need to make videos every day. You got subscribers and followers that you guys subscribed for a reason. You obviously like my videos for some reason, and so again, I need to do my part and make the videos, right? And especially if I'm serious about one day becoming a partner, which God, I want to so bad. I just want to make some kind of money off of this thing, One last point before I go. I know I'm starting to ramble. One last point. I'm gonna actually make a video about that. I've been thinking I have like so many ideas for videos. It's just getting the time and the quietness to make videos. But one thing, I'm gonna give you guys a little sneak preview. I'm gonna talk about the job of the future. Okay. And basically, what the job of the future is, I'll go into it more when I make the video, whenever I get around to it, is basically entertainment. Okay? I'm not going to get into it. So that's a little sneak peek. I'm not going to go... I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, the job of the future is entertainment. I'll explain more what I mean by that when I do make the video. So that's a little teaser for you guys. Maybe I'll do that in my next video. So look out for a title, The Job of the Future, or something along those lines. Anyhow, I gotta go in there before Becca gets too mad. So I'm gonna say bye to you guys. Nano's gonna say bye to you guys. Nano, you wanna say bye? Nano, hey dudes. Hey, you wanna say bye? Nano, can you wave bye? or not. Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.